Everybody's got a price.
Hello and welcome to Sharp Bets and Fantasy Sets. I am back for the second week in a row, which means next week we will be on what's called a streak. I am your host, Nick, and alongside me we have big-time Tim Sikora, we got Chris Sershaw, and we got Mr. TruExact himself, Scott. How we doing, fellas?
Living the dream, brother. Another day at a time.
We here. We good.
I'm doing great. I'm ready for this hot weather to go away. We're 13 days from Christmas music being accepted.
I saw that. That's ridiculous.
October 26th, 60 days of Christmas music begins on my watch, and I need this weather to get a little cold because it's too hot right now.
So there ain't nobody got time for 60 days of Christmas music, fam.
I do.
Yo, give me about 6 minutes of that thing and see you later.
Nah, not me. Love it.
There is the biggest bah humbug you'll ever meet in your life.
Yo, give me 6 minutes. By December 26th, that's it. We out of here. Done.
Sir, what's your favorite Christmas song?
The mute button.
Sir, that's terrible. Tim, do you have a favorite Christmas song?
I'm a big fan of Jingle Bells.
Okay, so
Ew.
literally the most basic.
Ew.
So,
Hi.
Scott, what did you rank number one at Christmas songs last year? I forget.
Darlene Love, All Alone on Christmas from Home Alone 2.
And for what it's worth, Dominic the Donkey would be that would be in my top three easily.
Of course it would. But since your number one is Jingle Bells, your opinion means nothing. So
I'll say that's like saying your favorite song of all time is like the ABC song.
Yeah.
I will pick. I'll pick "Please Come Home for Christmas" by the Eagles. So okay, well there you go.
Because it's Eagles, huh? Fly Eagles, fly.
Exactly. It's a great segue into the show. Last week we did favorite video games. This week we're doing favorite Christmas songs. Who knows what next week will be? It can't be Halloween movies because Tim's never seen one. But anyway, I digress.
What's a movie?
Here's the first one of the night. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining us. We got a good show going over picks, fantasy. We'll do it. And then we'll also maybe recap the fight a little bit. And we'll talk some other stuff. We'll definitely cover prop bets for tonight. I have a few. I'm sure you guys do too. Next week, we will figure out the show. It looks like Tim is going to be visiting Mickey and Minnie, and Scott is away.
I'll actually get an Air Supply concert.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
So it might just be me and Sir. We might kick in some special guests and do a four-man booth again with me and Sir in the main chairs and go from there, Sir. So maybe we'll have some fun next week. What do you think?
Wait, Nick, you mean you in the main chair, me just chilling off the side?
Stop that. Stop that right now. We are especially when Tim's gone. Scott, what do you have coming down the line for TruExact radio shows?
Nothing different, really. I actually knocked out all the shows last month, so I have a nice little break. We just released the one with Laser from American Gladiators, which is really cool. He opens up about just real dark times when he got cut by the Rams in the NFL. So I recommend going to see check that out. It's really cool. And that's pretty much it. I'll update next week or in a couple of weeks.
Okay, sounds good. You can check out our shows. We'll be dropping them on Saturday on the TruExact channel on YouTube. As always, you could definitely follow us on Twitch, what you're doing right now, and on Twitter at SBFS Show. I swear at some point we're going to get linked into TikTok. We have an account. We just never use it. But we'll figure that out so that our Gen Z fans around the world can tune in and check out our show. Because, of course, as everybody knows, TikTok is a one-stop shop for fantasy football and only fantasy football. So with further ado, we got our shots. Scott,
I'll tell you what, if we can get Sir to do the gritty on TikTok, we will be an instant famous. Oh, yeah, we will trend big time.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, that was warm. That was nice. Oh, boy.
So recapping the week that was it week 5, right?
Week 5.
I guess we'll start with Tim's team since they were the first to lose.
Yes, they were.
So Tim, 9:30 game. I thought and we talked about it the night before at the fight, Kyle Pitts was going to have a big game. I wanted him as my pick for anytime touchdown. He ended up scoring a touchdown. Atlanta looked pretty good. Zach Wilson, 9 interceptions. Is that leading the league? It is, right? 9?
Gotta be.
So have you watched every Jets game so far?
Just about.
So I know 9 interceptions not good, but as a Jets fan, is there anything to take home that you're excited about from a Zach Wilson standpoint? Or are you thinking what everybody always seems to say, hashtag same old Jets?
No, I mean, the way his body language is, he's not, at least it seems, right? It doesn't look like he's getting like down on himself and he's playing bad because he's just defeated mentally. I just think he's just not, he doesn't have the team around him to perform well. I mean, he's running for his life in the pocket, and for what it's worth, sometimes that's good. Sometimes it looks like he's maybe a little gun shy to just chuck the ball because of the interceptions, but at some point it doesn't matter anymore. Just take a chance and throw the ball downfield. We're not winning as it is. I don't know. I want to be as unbiased as I possibly can be. So I know he's not playing well, but there are some signs that point in the right direction. The 9 interceptions aside, but we'll see. I mean, still got more than half the year left to judge him. Unfortunately, he's just going to be judged because he's that high draft pick starting right away.
And speaking of judge, we'll get to the Giants fans' opinion on. Oh wait, Sir Scott. Oh, no Giants fans, so we're not going to talk about them. So, but we will talk about who, and it pains me to say this, who is probably at least of the 4 teams right now, the biggest odds-on favorite from a Super Bowl standpoint. And trust me, I'm saying that in the most jinx-worthy way possible, and that's the Dallas Cowboys, who look really, really good. Just from an Eagles fan perspective, my first game I was able to watch the Eagles this year was against the Cowboys, and I was ready to write Jalen Hurts off after that game, thinking he just looked awful. He did not look good at all. But after watching him against Kansas City and partially against the Panthers, and I am excited to see what he does tonight, I'm starting to think that Jalen Hurts wasn't really the issue, and that the Dallas Cowboys defense that we all thought was going to be awful really isn't as bad as what we thought. And their offense, Dak coming back, I think some of us were against Dak coming back and being productive early, just didn't think it would happen, wanted to wait and see. Some of us were pretty pro-Dak from a fantasy standpoint. But Scott, I mean, your team looks great. I'm not going to say the we dem boys phrase.
Oh, that's horrible anyway. I hate that shit. So,
but
okay.
Dallas looks good.
Yeah, I mean, I laugh at all these fucking experts and analysts who before the season started, and I'm sorry if any of you had it, I don't mean disrespect, Washington winning the division. Like, have you not been paying attention the past 20 years? Washington only wins the division by default. Romo gets hurt in 2015, they win the division. Dak gets hurt last year, they win the division. Whenever there's a competent quarterback in that division, the Washington football team does not win. So this whole notion that they were going to be good again, it's just laughable. And I remember tweeting after week 1, well, the NFC East looks like crap. Even after the Eagles had that performance, the Eagles don't scare me. This is clearly the best team in the division because they have the best quarterback, and it's not even close. Like, not even close. We're looking at the McNabb era from 01 to 06 before Eli and Romo got there. Teams are just fucking chomping at the bit trying to get their guy. And even though Jalen Hurts might be, or Daniel Jones might be, they're just not there yet. And this is a chance for the Cowboys to really dominate for the next 2 years, 3 years, if they keep everything right. And their defense with Dan Quinn coming over from Atlanta, he is responsible for the Legion of Boom. So, like, this is the change. It's all about speed now. You draft speed, and that's just what it is. So I'm very excited. Do I think they can win the Super Bowl? Yes. Do I think they will? No. I think that they could win a 1 playoff game. But you know what? They played Tampa Bay tough, and who's to say that if they don't go on the road, why can't they beat them? I mean, why not? Like, it's football. You guys won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. So I'm very excited, but I obviously I'm a Cowboy fan, and I've seen the Romo drop snap. I've seen the Mason Crosby 58-yard field goal. So the Dez catch. I could go on. So I've seen heartbreak, so I don't really get my hopes up too much. So, but I am excited. So F off everyone else.
Yeah, I think you should be excited. And of course, sir, the Trey Lance era fully in effect last week. What were your thoughts on the game? Obviously, losing 17-10 to the Kyler Murray Cardinals. You know, it was a battle of speedy quarterbacks, but Cardinals.
I mean, I know it was his first game, first start, but I hope that's not the game plan going forward, because it was every play, hike, run, like quarterback option, run left, run right, hand the ball, I don't know, they need to get a little bit more balance, back to getting the receivers more involved, and don't run as much, because you're gonna get killed out there. But we'll see. It was his first game. Usually rookie quarterbacks struggle usually in their first start. We saw with Zach Wilson struggle. We saw with Justin Fields, he struggled. So he's a rookie, he's gonna struggle, but hopefully going forward, hopefully Shanahan gets to the playbook, gets him into just coaches him up. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we start from the bottom and move your way up. You know what I'm saying?
So Jimmy G, Jimmy G is going to get his job back when he is next week after your bye.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking if he's healthy, he's gonna play. I mean, as of right now, I mean, Lynch is the future, but right now I think Jimmy gives you the best chance to win a ball game.
What if you're 2-4 though? And then the Arizona 6-0. Do you even go back to Jimmy G? Or you just
they have a bye week this week, so they're not so.
Yeah, I'm looking at their next game. Their next game would be Sunday Night Football against the Colts. They're home.
Mm-hmm.
I the kid.
I think.
Listen, with the extra, wild card spots, just play. Just keep playing until you're mathematically eliminated, and then even if it's only 1 or 2 starts at the end of the season, at least it's still real gameplay. You never know who you're playing against. That other team could be trying to get into the playoffs, or seeding wise, play hard as well.
Especially with San Fran's schedule, their schedule is not the toughest. I mean, it's their toughest games are probably in division, and with Seattle with losing Russ, who knows what Seattle going to do with Geno Smith. So we'll see what happens.
It's hard to believe that after this week we'll be 33% done with the NFL season. It feels like it did just start, but
it's so sad.
nothing goes quicker than the NFL season.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I'm not going to go too much into the Eagles game because obviously we're going to be talking about them a little bit later for the upcoming game tonight. But they continue to, stay in games, and this game where I did not think they were going to win, they came back and won. I think a lot of it has to do with the blocked punt at the end, with 5 minutes to go in the game. But a win's a win, and I'm looking forward to tonight's game. I don't think they're going to do too well, but you never know. Time will tell.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, well, and just to recap a little bit on the Giants, since a lot of the people tuning in are probably Giants fans, just very injury riddled team right now. We don't know. It looks like Sterling Shepard practiced again, so it looks like he's back. Tony looks like he's coming back. Galladay, I'm not sure. Daniel Jones, I'm not sure. And Saquon Barkley, we know, is out. Well, have there been any updates on anyone else?
Can I say one thing? Tony, what are you throwing punches? That's one thing I don't understand in the NFL. Bro, everybody on the field is wearing a helmet. Why are you going to punch somebody in their dome? Bro, all you're going to do is break your hand. That's it. I don't understand. I never understand why people throw punches in the NFL.
Or they just get heated. It's just a natural reaction.
You punch them, and then you break your hand.
Sure, I mean, it's not fucking smart. It's fucking stupid. I'm just telling you, it's the natural reaction. Somebody gets mad,
I understand, but it's bro,
you got to push their face. You can't
trip them. I don't know, kick them in their kneecap. I don't know, but don't punch them in their head. You're gonna break your hand.
Also too, Nick, in regards to the Giants, it was unfortunate to see Daniel Jones stumble off. You never want to see that, but I will say this: last year, Colt McCoy went into Seattle and beat the Seahawks. So anyone thinking about picking, what do we always say? The games the Giants should lose, they win. I'm giving a preview. I am staying away from that game. I don't care if it was 3.5 points. You could somehow see Mike Glennon fucking winning. I don't know. The Giants scare me when they suck. They scare me.
Not only am I pounding that game, if it's still only at 10, it should be 14. If it was 14, I don't know if I'd touch it, but Nothing about Mike Lennon.
Well,
scares me.
I do hear talks that Danny Dimes may play.
Then I would pick the Rams. I don't know. Something about
That doesn't scare me either.
No, probably not. Rams will probably crush him. But I know enough, but I'm sure Nick too, being in their division, you stay away sometimes. Just fucking.
I hate picking against them.
Yeah.
A lot of times, just because I've been burned so many times picking. I've been burned so many times picking them. So it's almost like I just stay away from them from a betting standpoint. Usually, but the last 2 weeks I did bet them. I bet them to cover the 7 or whatever it was against New Orleans, and I did bet Dallas, and both bets hit. So I guess I'm a little.
For my own selfish reasons, I hope the Giants go up in there, man up, and go get that W.
You know what the Giants are? They're pool killers. That's what the Giants are. Just pool killers. Whether it's win or lose, they always fuck you somehow.
It's true.
Well, I picked Pittsburgh in my one survivor pool that there's a rebuy option for, and they're playing Seattle in Pittsburgh. So I don't know what I'm doing, but
Geno Smith.
Sarah, say it right, old boy.
Smith.
that would just be the worst. But anyway, we'll get into what do you guys want to do first? You want to do the bets or you want to do fantasy?
Bets.
All right, we'll do the bets. Scott will recap us. Scott, what do you got?
All right, so the standings as of now, I stand at 10-4-1. Nick's in second place with 6-9. Tim 5-9-1, and Sir 5-9-1. Last week, I lost on San Francisco. They couldn't cover the 4.5 or 5.5. They were close. They hung in there, but that late touchdown killed them. Tied with the Bengals +3, and I actually won with the Steelers -1. Nick won with Detroit. He went back to the well. They ended up winning the game. He also, with a great pick, went with Chicago. By the way, that was a solid pick. Lost with Kansas City with the -2.5. We just got steamrolled on a Sunday night. Tim got burned by the Washington football team, tied with Green Bay, and then he covered with Dallas, who he's been riding for the last couple of weeks. Sir couldn't hit the under on the Jets game because that last-second field goal.
Why y'all wasting time kicking field? Man, you should just take your L and go home, bro.
He won the Thursday night game. He won the Thursday night game with the Rams, and then he tied with Green Bay as well. So those are the standings.
Can these brothers, kickers, you have one job, right? You got one job. You line up, you kick a field goal, or an extra point. Come on.
Could have went either way. Nick, where do you want to go first? It's your call.
If it's my call, I'm gonna kick it with Sir first. That way I can pick against him and go 3-0.
Damn.
If you want to, go ahead. But
Hold
I gotta
on,
say,
boy.
listen,
Sir,
I'm
real
gonna be
quick.
on this train.
Sir, hold on one sec. Real quick, before you said that, Scott reminded me when he said steamrolled in reference to the Bills steamrolling the Kansas City Chiefs, which was my one game wrong. Patrick Mahomes right now, 18-1 odds to win NFL MVP. Patrick Mahomes, 18-1 odds to win NFL MVP. Buy or sell?
I mean, it's super early, right? So if they win out, anything could happen, right? I mean, if they're gonna be the best team in the league, it's going to the quarterback.
Yeah, there's popularity contest though. I feel like at the end of the day, they'll give it to a Herbert if he wins the division, or.
Do you know who is the favorite right now? Is it Josh Allen?
I think it's Josh Allen.
Probably. Or
Who I believe
Maybe
I told
Lamar.
y'all in the beginning of the season. I gave y'all 3 options. I gave y'all Herbert, I gave y'all Josh Allen, I gave y'all Brady. And I'm pretty sure those 3 are probably the top 3 options.
Could be Brady
now.
too. Oh, do your picks.
Nobody remembers their picks better than Sir. You ever notice
I
that?
do.
Only when they're good. Only when they're
That's the
good.
good ones. Thank you. You already
The
know.
bad ones
But-
disappear. The good ones float to the top.
Never happened. I'm saying, but I'll go with my weak picks. All right, so this week I'm gonna go on the ride the train. I'm gonna have to go with them Dallas Cowboys -3. The defense has been looking pretty good. I gotta say. Listen, last year they were certified trash cans. They're getting better. Trayvon Diggs has been picking quarterbacks off. They're 5-0 against the spread this year. And they're playing the Patriots, who they've been beating up bad teams and losing to the good ones. So give me the Cowboys -3. My next game, we talked about these Kansas City Chiefs. Give me the over 54.5. The Chiefs defense, certified trash. They've allowed 29 points in each game. Listen, Heineke just put up. Listen, Kinsey going to score points, and Kinsey can let up points. So 54.5. points are going to be scored. Heineke, I'm looking at you, kid. I'm starting you in the league, so ball out. My third game, Buffalo, Tennessee, give me over 54. Josh Allen, we're talking about it, MVP candidate. He's been balling. Tennessee, they with Derrick Henry and them boys, like they put up points. So I see points to be scored in bunches. So.
All right. Tim, what do you got?
All right, sir. I'm going to start off with the similar game that we have. We tied last week when we had similar games, so maybe we'll tie this week. But I told you guys last week I'm going to bet Dallas until they don't come through for me. And for much of the reasons that Sir said, I don't care if Bill Belichick's the coach. Tom Brady's not the quarterback anymore, and Dallas is playing out of this world. And until they stop playing out of this world, 3 points is not enough against the Patriots. I don't care, Scott, if the Giants are supposed to win the games that they don't win. There's something about me. I just cannot pass this game up. The Rams should win by 14. That's all I need. 2 touchdowns. I don't care if Daniel Jones is a quarterback. I really don't. The Rams are a complete football team. I think they win by 14.
What is it?
That'll
9.5 or 10?
When I looked earlier today, when I put my sheet together, it was 10.
Okay.
I saw like ESPN had it 9.5, but I went with what DK had it. And last but not least, Pittsburgh and Seattle over 42.5. I know it's Geno Smith. I know their team is not as good as they are with Russ. But 42.5 is not a lot of points. Pittsburgh puts up points on offense, especially if Big Ben is chucking the ball like he is. Geno Smith didn't look awful. He didn't look bad. He looked pretty good. He almost, arguably, if Tyler Lockett doesn't slip and fall and he throws that pick at the end of the game, they're still marching down the field with a chance to win, or at least tie. I just think 42.5 is way too low in that game, and those are my 3 picks.
I'll go next, and I'll respect the champ. Unlike Deontay Wilder, I will give respect to the reigning defending champ, and I'll give my picks and let him go last. So I'm going first and foremost. I'm going Kansas City and Washington. I'm betting the over on 54.5. So teams have really used the Washington football team as a get-right spot. We've seen it multiple times. Daniel Jones' start of great games was against the Washington football team. New Orleans. Great game against the Washington football team. So I could see Kansas City, who couldn't see Kansas City, right? Putting up 30 points by themselves. I certainly can see that. And on the other side to it is Taylor Heineke has looked pretty good. He can run, he can throw. I don't know who on Kansas City is stopping Scary Terry McLaurin. And it looked like even Ricky Seals-Jones looked pretty good. I don't want to telegraph my DFS picks, but, there's some things there to like. Kansas City just outright stinks on defense, and that's just the bottom line. So to me, over on 54.5 is a solid bet. I am also taking the Bills laying 5.5 against Tennessee. When you look at teams that are Super Bowl contenders, I hate to be like Sir for a minute, but I think I picked Buffalo to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl in our picks way back when. But easily one of the top 1% of teams. Great football team. Just beat Kansas City, who isn't as good as I think we all thought going into the season. But Tennessee is pretty bad. Looks like Julio Jones is coming back. They're going to need A.J. Brown. They're going to need a lot of their weapons to attack. But I just think the Bills are a Super Bowl contender team, and I don't think Kansas City is very good. And 5.5 on the road is a lot, but the differences between road-home splits in this aspect haven't been as bad as you would normally think. So I do like the Bills there. I think if they get out to a lead early, they can run the ball, they can kill some clock. And they can get away with the win in I don't want to say double digits, but I do think they'll cover the 5.5. And then lastly, I hate to say it because, truth be told, I also had Dallas, but I don't want to be with you guys. Not everybody, and I'm afraid I don't think Scott would pick Dallas. Right now, I'm a poker player at the table, and I'm trying to say what Scott's hand is, and I'm trying to bet, but Scott's not showing me anything. I don't think Scott is taking Dallas because I think Scott is a superstitious guy, but you guys both did take Dallas, so I am not going to take Dallas, and I am going to take Tampa Bay, laying 6.5 against the Eagles. And I think the reason for that is,
wait, sir, repeat that pick, please. I didn't hear you.
I'm taking Tampa Bay against the Eagles.
All right.
So hear me out. Hold on, time out now. Before you give your explanation, you're purposely changing your pick because of what the guys picked before you, and because what Scott might pick, because you're trying to get ahead in the standing. This is fucking shenanigans. This is not. People out there, do not take Tampa Bay tonight. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. This is not Nick's real pick. His real pick is Dallas. We've heard it. We'll count this loss.
When he gets burned because he picks against his team, we could all laugh. That's how it is.
What does that say? You can reread. You can reread, or you can rewatch the show and see if I pick a pen at any moment. If I pick a pen at any moment and wrote anything, I'm taking Tampa Bay laying 6.5, and the reason is because if Brady's healthy. And I understand the thumb issue. We saw what he did in the Super Bowl. Thumb issue. With the, banging, I guess it were, what was it? The amendola injury. Amendola hit him or something, and his thumb, he had to get stitches in the Super Bowl. Right. So back to Dallas, which you guys have referenced already. So Tampa Bay is laying 8 points to the Dallas Cowboys, but only 6.5 to the Eagles. To me, just doesn't add up right. I don't think the Eagles are going to be able to keep up. I think they'll be able to score, but I think Tampa can kind of dictate how many points they're going to put up, because I don't think the Eagles are going to be able to stop them. So I do think Tampa Bay laying 6.5 is my point.
Nick, I think go on, sir.
Oh, I just want to say one thing before. With your Chiefs pick, can we put the revenge tour to rest? 2 years ago, when San Fran took they came out, it's a revenge tour. We're going to come out storming and injure everybody and their mama got hurt. This year, the Chiefs take the L, revenge tour, and they playing like certified trash. Can we just put the revenge tour to rest? Just come out, play your game, do, you know what I'm saying? Because no good thing happened about, it's the revenge tour. Stop it.
Oh, Nick, by the way, you'd be a pretty bad poker player, because if you see right there, I'm actually taking Dallas -3. And the reason because they haven't, I don't believe that the Cowboys won in New England since like 1987, if I'm correct. And listen, this is the time. You go in there, you got a bye next week. You have a chance to go 5-1, take a real stranglehold of this division. In the past, these are the Cowboys teams that would lose this game. And you'd be like, fuck, this is your chance. I really think it's a different type of vibe. Dak's playing out of this world. I think this is the time to do it. Also, a New England writer wrote an article about how Mac Jones and the prolific New England offense was going to crush the Dallas defense. It's like, all right, man, if you want bulletin board material, I don't know where you're getting off there. So that's my one pick. Number 2 pick. This is a home favorite. This team is due for a loss. Arizona has been coming close to losing. They're on the road versus Cleveland this week. 3.5. I hate that it jumped to the half point. I'm taking Cleveland anyway, -3.5 at home to give Arizona their first loss. And the last pick, I'll be going head-to-head with Nick on Monday night. This is the second straight road game for the Bills. They just beat the AFC champion Chiefs. They're going to have a letdown Monday night at Tennessee. The Titans need this win +5.5, and I think that they're going to outright possibly win this game and beat the Bills. So Tennessee +5.5, Cleveland -3.5, and the Dallas Cowboys -3. Nick, good luck.
Well, I've never been a bigger New England Patriots fan in my entire life. But no, good stuff, guys. Those are
not be me.
good picks.
Well, one game I also did like, too. I like the Colts -10 to crush the Texans. With that loss they had Thursday, I'd hate to be in their way, especially at home. It's like they have the perfect team right now to come in and just beat the crap out of.
And Houston is breaking news. Houston's not very good.
Yeah, exactly. Boy, they could have won.
Listen,
if that game Monday night.
If the bum-ass Patriots can come back against Houston down double digits with that high-powered offense, or whatever the fuck that guy should be fired from his job. But the Colts could do very, very well.
You guys know as much as anybody how much I love to just spring things on you in the middle of the shows, but a great segue from a New England-based team going up against Houston would be the ALCS and what we know, hopefully, for the NLCS. So I will say I think Game 5 is tonight for the NLCS, so we're not sure yet what we're going to see there. But from an ALCS standpoint, we know it's Houston and Boston, so I'm going Boston in 6. What do you guys go?
I think Houston's going to win in 5.
Give me
National
Boston.
League.
Yeah, okay, sir. Give me Boston in 7 because I don't like fucking cheaters. So
Like Alex,
Let's go National League.
Alex Cora is the manager. It is. I mean, listen, I hate the Astros too, but at some point, I'd rather have Dusty Baker finally get his fucking ring. That's really how I'm looking at this. This poor guy, 2002 with the Giants. You know, some of those national teams they got burned with. This guy in the Reds too. This guy really deserves a ring as a manager. I think he won one with the Dodgers. Maybe I'm probably wrong with that, but as a player, but I really would root for him over the Sox. That's why I'm rooting for the Astros.
Can they both lose? Can they both be eliminated or something like? It's like, yo, man, nah, fam, y'all both need to get out of here.
listen, for personal reasons, I want the Dodgers to win everything, which reminds me I have to hedge my bet tonight to make sure that I make some money.
They're going with an opener tonight, right? The Dodgers, Game 5,
Yeah.
they're going with an opener?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were gonna go with Urias
or whatever his name is.
Yeah, and then they last minute took him out and put somebody else in. I forget who they put in, but
Bold strategy there, Cotton.
yeah, let's see if it works for you.
Yeah, really.
I'm looking outside. My neighbor just got home. He's a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. I'm wondering if I should egg his house at 8:19 to kind of.
Now that you're on record saying you're doing it, no.
Yeah, but they won't hear this till Saturday. We'll be good.
I don't know if he watches the show, so I don't think he would think it's me. But then he would probably see me run back home and yell
Hold on.
EHGLE.
You said you're gonna run?
Also, you need them to win your pick. So why would you do that? Like, you're all over the place.
Well, still Philly. All right. Anyway,
somebody's
we'll go
house is
snake order
totally Philly.
we'll go snake order. So Scott, we'll start with you. Tim's doing another shot. I have my second beer. Scott, what do you got for your DFS?
So I know I just said to stay away, but I do think they'll still put up some points. I got Stafford at 6,700 at quarterback, which I think is pretty cheap for the Giants defense to be playing. Running back, Jonathan Taylor, I'm riding with after a couple good weeks, 6,600. Joe Mixon, 6,400. Wide receivers, you're getting CeeDee Lamb at 6,500. I feel like anytime you could get him under $7,000, take him. Dak seems to go to him in big spots. Matching up Stafford with Cooper Kupp, 7,900. That's my most expensive player. And then I'm going with Hunter Renfrow, 4,900 wide receiver. He's a little like fire plug, and I feel like Carr targets him a lot. I hate to use it just because he's small and white, but he's kind of like a Cole Beasley of that team. Evan Ingram at tight end. If Glennon's playing, you figure he's going to go to the tight end as a safety net. He's only 3,400. Cleveland cheap defense, 2,600. Not the cheapest, though. And I actually, as flex, Nick mentioned him earlier, it might be cold in Chicago. I think that the A.J. Dillon might get some carries as a bigger guy down at the goal line for 4,900 as my flex. And that's also because I ran out of money. So.
Listen, to butt in, A.J. Dillon, they have a actual role for him.
Yeah.
Like, Aaron Jones is not hurt, and he got a ton of touches last week in a close game, in a big important game against Cincinnati. So A.J. Dillon for cheap, they're going to get him touches in that game. What he does with them, will it be receiving touchdown like he had last week? Probably, maybe not. Maybe he scores 2 touchdowns. You never know. But that's not, for his value is not bad. I
like A.J. Dillon a lot, honestly. Especially for a rest of season. I think he could be very good. Yeah, me?
Yeah. We can still hear you. You're not moving, but your voice is coming through. Oh, now you're back. Oh. Now you're ugly coming back. Now it looks like you're doing a very fast dance.
All right, so I'm going Taylor Heineke against Kansas City, 5,800. I'm pairing him with Scary Terry McLaurin at 7,100. and Ricky Seals-Jones at 3,000 for the reasons I mentioned above on the over on the Kansas City-Washington game. I'll try to remain in order for the rest of my picks. My running backs, I have Nick Chubb and I have Ramondre Stevenson. Nick Chubb versus Arizona 7,200, and Stevenson against Dallas at 4,500. Obviously this is going to change if Damian Harris plays. Right now he is not playing, or on the wrong side of doubtful. So I do like him there. It's a big opportunity for him, and I do think you can run on Arizona from a Nick Chubb standpoint. So. They got a lot of people out for COVID. So I think they're going to be playing with not a full deck. Wide receivers, besides Scary Terry, I'm along with Scott. I have Cooper Kupp at 7,900. I mean, how do you not take him? And I have Jamar Chase against Detroit at 6,700. Jamar Chase was kind of a big play wide receiver early on, and I think going into the season, I started to get a little afraid of picking him in fantasy drafts, but he has been absolutely phenomenal, and now he's getting large targets as well. So I love Jamar Chase in this spot. I already gave you my tight end, but just a few more points on Ricky Seals-Jones. 8 targets last week and played on 82 of 83 snaps, which is exactly what you want from a guy you're only paying $3,000 for. Flex, I actually have Khalil Herbert at 4,600, and the reason for that is because Damian Williams is on the COVID list, so it does look like he's not going to be playing. Khalil Herbert would really be the next man up there. I'm not particularly happy with the Chicago pick this week, but if you're getting a running back for 4,600, I think it's solid value there. And then I'm taking at defense the Panthers at 2,900. They're home against Minnesota because who fucking cares about defense? Tim, what do you got?
Well, not to foreshadow anything, but I have quite a few same picks as you. I've got Heineke at QB 5,800. KC can't stop me, you, and Sir if we were on offense. He can run. He likes to throw the ball deep. And if they're losing, garbage time points count just as much in fantasy as any other points do. Pairing him with Scary Terry because nobody's covering Scary Terry in Casey's backfield. My running backs, I got Darrell Williams with that same game against Washington for 4,900, and I got Khalil Herbert 4,600 against Green Bay. If you can get 2 starting running backs for under 5K, just take them and run with it. I've also got Jamar Chase, 6,700 against Detroit. The Burrow and Chase connection is real, and the targets are adding up, and the production is adding up. I don't know what his excuses were in preseason with the difference of the ball, but that apparently doesn't translate to the actual NFL game. Thank goodness. And if, unfortunately, getting scared away from him in some fantasy circles or backfiring on some people for sure. Wide receiver 3, give me Hollywood Brown at 5,900 against the Chargers. He's a hot hand if he can catch the ball. I know he's got a little drop issues, but they just keep throwing the ball to him. There's no one else there, especially when he wants to throw it deep and he's open. If he catches it, that's all that matters. At tight end, give me Mo Alley Cox, 3,100 against Houston. Carson Wentz loves throwing to the tight ends, and he is now, in the past 3 games, I think, positioned himself as the tight end in that offense, and his production, I think, is definitely going to go up. To round out my lineup, I got Travis Kelce in the flex at 7K. Normally, I would never put a tight end there, but against Washington, in what suspects to be a high-scoring game, as you guys picked in your DFS, I'll take another piece of it. And Kelce has been, I don't want to say the odd man out in that offense, but they need to get him going. I think it opens everything up, including more. I think they got to start double, triple covering Tyreek Hill because that's the only way you're going to stop him. And that leaves everyone else open underneath. I know we preach every week, don't pay for a defense. Don't pay for a defense. But goddamn, I'm paying for the Rams. I don't care if it's full price. I like some of my other value picks, and I'm going to take the Rams at 4,700 against the Giants because I really don't know if Danny Dimes doesn't play. I don't know who else is going to be there for the Giants, and I really don't care. The Rams defense is still very good no matter what. And for 4,700, maybe they might not put up the points, but heaven forbid they do, and the Giants are just as bad as we all think they're going to be this week. That could be 20 points out of a fantasy defense. Not saying it'll happen, but a couple pick sixes, never know.
So for my lab, I've heard a
And
lot.
last but not,
Go ahead. So I've heard a lot of the similar players that you guys mentioned in my lineup, so I'll kind of rattle it off pretty quick. At quarterback, I got my man Joe Burrow, 6,300. So we mentioned Detroit. The defense a little suspect, but Burrow has a 300 monster at receiver. He's been chucking that rock. I like 6,300. Good price. I paired him with Jamar Chase, also as well as you guys mentioned, 6,700. He's been a monster. Also a receiver, I got Scary Terry, 7,100. Chiefs couldn't stop us 4. And at my other receiver, I got Hollywood Brown, 5,900. Just catch a big pass, bro. Like if you're wide open, if it hits you in the hands, come down with it, please. At running back, I got Austin Eckler, 7,900. He's been putting up numbers like Jonathan Taylor gave Baltimore the business. In week 1, I told y'all he didn't really get targeted, and I was like, that's going to change. That was just an anomaly. Since then, they've been feeding him targets out of the backfield. They've been giving him the rock. He's been putting up numbers since week 1. So give me Austin Eckler. Running back 2, I got Darrell Henderson Jr., 6K against the Giants. The Giants are depleted, both offense and defense. So when they get in the red zone, they're going to feed the big man. At tight end, as you mentioned, Ricky Seals-Jones, 3K. Chiefs can't score. Chiefs can't stop anybody. And he's been playing the majority of the snaps, so I want a part of that offense against him. At flex, I went Darrell Williams against the Chiefs. Against the because no CEH. So next man up, he'll be back there. 4,900. Why not? A defense, I don't love it, but I always go cheap defenses. Give me Detroit at 2,100. Why not? It's cheap. You hopefully put up like 4 points, 5 points. They've been putting up like at least 2 sacks every game for the most part. Who knows? Maybe they get lucky. They get a pick or something.
And to finish things out, I got to give a shout out. The winner of the SB DFS Week 5 was Mr. Bread Inferno. He came through, had a couple big scores. Clipped Sir at the end. Sorry, your 4 o'clocks didn't go too well. You're looking great at 1 o'clock, Mo.
I know. After the 1 o'clock, I was cooking. I had Henry. I had I remember who else I had Madison out there. But my team was looking solid. And then 4 o'clocks came, and Max Williams got his leg taken out from blown out. That hurt. If Zach Ertz played the 1 o'clocks, he didn't do a damn thing. And then, I had Trey Lance and Debo, and they did all right. But by that point, when my 2 players I put a combined 4 points. But it's always this week.
all right. Anybody else have anything else, or do you want to get into the picks for tonight?
Let's get into picks tonight.
Yeah, I know. Internet. So, all right, we will turn off and run Twitch just because Saturday morning these picks will be obsolete. Thanks for tuning in, and we will be back here next week.